Hey beautiful souls, welcome back to the channel. This is episode 5 in my 6-part series on healing and living your purpose. So I really hope that this series is helping you transform your journey from surviving toxic situations to living with love, intention and purpose. And I will leave the links of the other episodes in the description box below. So today's episode, I want to look at the rebuild, learning to trust yourself again. And the theme for today is self-trust as the foundation for purpose. So what do you do when the person you stop trusting is you? This is for anyone who's made a mistake, felt lost, or looked in the mirror and thought, how did I get here? This is the story about the rebuild and how I learned slowly, quietly, painfully to trust myself again. And something that you might want to practice, a couple of things that helped me was, one is a regular intuition check-in. When have you known in your gut and ignored it? When did you trust it? An affirmation that you might want to use is, I can trust myself to choose what's right for me. Just little things. Start reframing your inner scripts. You know, I don't think we talk enough about what it feels like to let yourself down. We talk about betrayal, sure, but usually when it comes from other people. But what about when we're the ones who didn't listen to our own gut, who stayed too long, chose the wrong thing, chose the wrong person, ignored the red flags that were waving inside of our chest? That was me. I made choices that didn't reflect who I truly was. I silenced myself to keep the peace. I broke promises I made to me. And eventually, I stopped trusting my own voice. And that kind of silence, it's deafening. Because when you can't trust yourself, where do you go? And I say this as in many of my videos, this is not to excuse the hurtful betrayals and behaviors of someone else. That's on them. This is to help you heal and shine your light. You know, there wasn't one big rock bottom moment. It was more like a slow unraveling. It was more like death by 1,000 paper cuts. And I remember one night when I couldn't sleep, which was many nights, my mind was spinning out of control with all the shoulds and the coulds and the what ifs and the whys. And then this quiet thought came through all that noise. If I don't trust myself, nothing else will ever feel safe. And that really hit me, because I realized I had given away my power for so long. I was outsourcing everything, decisions, validation, my own worth, to appease people who didn't know my heart like I did, to appease people who were never going to be filled. And maybe, just maybe, it was time to come back home to me. Rebuilding trust with yourself isn't flashy. It's not dramatic. It's not a speech in the mirror. It's slow. It's awkward. It's painful. It's tender. It's saying no when you're used to saying yes, just to avoid conflict. It's waking up and doing that one thing you said you would do for you. Not at the end of the day, at the bottom of the list after you've appeased everyone else, but at the top of the list. Listening to that quiet inner nudge and actually honouring it. At first, it felt like I was rebuilding a house that was demolished inside out, and all I had were my bare hands and the rubble around me. But I kept showing up for myself, even when I didn't feel ready, even when I was hurting, even when I didn't feel worthy of my own trust. And little by little, I started to believe in myself again. It's not about being right all the time. It's about knowing that even if you mess up, you won't abandon yourself again. That's what trust feels like. Having your own back, telling yourself the truth, kindly, honestly. Making space for mistakes without turning them into shame. And knowing that your intuition isn't crazy, like other people might have been trying to tell you all those years. It's wise, and it's time to start listening to it again. It's feeling the fear and moving with it anyway. It's learning to say, I don't have it all figured out, but I trust that I'll find a way. And I always do. That is power. Not the loud performative kind, the quiet, grounded in spiritual truth kind. The kind you build from the ruins of who you used to be. And if you're in that space, that messy middle bit, here are a few things that may help. 1, start keeping small promises to yourself. No giant goals, just one small thing every day, and then do it, and then repeat it. This is how self-trust is rebuilt, not through perfection, but through consistency. 2, speak to yourself like someone you love. Watch your tone. Watch how you talk to a friend. Because would you talk to a friend the way you would talk to yourself? Think about that. 3, forgive the old version of you. Seriously, you were doing your best with what you knew at the time. You can't rebuild a future if you're at war with your past. Learn from it and let it go. 4, make space for your intuition. Not every decision needs a committee. Trust that you know, deep down, what's right for you. And that's so powerful. You know, the rebuild isn't glamorous, not by a long shot. It doesn't get applause, but it's the most sacred work you'll ever do. And the truth is, you don't need to be perfect to be trustworthy. You just need to keep showing up with an honest heart, with a gentle hand, and fully committed to living truth. Because the version of you that's rising, that's someone worth trusting. And if this spoke to you, if you're in the middle of your own rebuild, drop a comment below. I would love to hear it. Tell me one thing you're reclaiming. Let's remind each other that trust isn't lost forever. It's waiting to be rebuilt. So, as always, lots and lots of love from my heart to you. And I look forward to seeing you in the last episode, which will be titled Living on Purpose and Becoming Who You Were Meant to Be.